Prince Harry has reportedly gone into panic mode after seeing alleged photos of Meghan Markle on a yacht with Prince Andrew. The images, tied to the Epstein-era elite scene, are now resurfacing, and insiders say Harry's trust is shattered. This isn't gossip. It's a royal crisis in motion. Prince Harry sees the photos, and everything changes. It began behind closed doors. According to insiders close to the Sussex Circle, Prince Harry was shown a set of unpublished photos that changed everything. These weren't internet rumors or fake viral edits. These were private images, reportedly from Phuket, Thailand, dating back to the early 2000s. And they allegedly show something Harry never expected to see: Meghan Markle aboard a yacht with Prince Andrew. The shock was instant. The photos, described by one source as clear and credible, landed like a grenade. Within hours, Harry was making frantic phone calls to aides, speaking directly to his U.S. legal advisors, and demanding a full trace on the origin of the images. One person close to the situation described Harry's state as emergency lockdown mode. What makes this moment especially devastating is the timing. These photos were reportedly taken during the Epstein-linked era of Prince Andrew's social life, a time now forever associated with scandal, secrecy, and disgrace. Sources say Harry had always heard whispers. During his courtship with Meghan, both Prince William and King Charles are believed to have raised discreet concerns about Meghan's social ties before her rise to fame. But Harry, deeply in love and defensive, reportedly dismissed them as old guard paranoia and refused to entertain background suspicions. But now, everything is different, because the whispers are being backed by something tangible: photographic evidence. This sudden escalation didn't happen in isolation. It followed an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, where Rogan himself mentioned the yacht photos and openly questioned Meghan's ties to elite circles. That moment gave the rumors global traction.
The second Rogan said it out loud. The world started listening, one media analyst told The Times. And once Harry heard about it, it was no longer deniable.
The prince, who had distanced himself from the monarchy to protect Meghan, is now faced with a different kind of crisis. One that might have been avoidable had he listened back then. But what exactly do the images show? And who confirmed their existence? The next chapter unpacks the details of the photo allegation and the author behind the explosive claim. The photo allegation. What's in the images? The alleged images have not been made public, but their description, circulated by Kirby Summers, a researcher known for investigating elite networks and publishing material on Ghislaine Maxwell, paints a very specific picture. According to Summers, the photographs place Meghan Markle on a luxury yacht at an exclusive party off the coast of Phuket, Thailand, in or around 2001 to 2003. And at that same event, Prince Andrew was present, not as royalty on duty, but as part of a private, invitation-only social scene that overlapped with the circles of Jeffrey Epstein. Summers claims these are not the viral fake images that have been widely debunked online. These are real photos, she says, that have been seen by major media outlets, but deliberately buried. Why? Because of who appears in them, and the fallout that could follow. At the time these photos were taken, Meghan was in her early 20s, years away from fame, and not yet a household name. Which leads to the biggest question Joe Rogan, and now the world, is asking: how did she even get there? Because the yacht was reportedly reserved for ultra-elite guests, many of whom had ties to Epstein's private empire, social clubs like Soho House, and other under-the-radar gatherings of the global rich. The implication is devastating. If Meghan was indeed part of the same exclusive yacht scene as Andrew, years before she met Harry, then her entry into royal life is no longer a love story. It's part of a long trail of high-level networking. There are photos out there, Summers said in a podcast interview, but they were never released because the fallout would be uncontainable. Palace insiders reportedly had quiet awareness of these rumors during Meghan's engagement period. But no action was taken, possibly because the photos hadn't surfaced publicly. Now, with Joe Rogan's podcast reigniting global interest, that discretion has turned into panic. According to reports, Harry is reviewing timelines, hiring a private investigative team, and revisiting past conversations with senior royals that he once brushed off. One former aide commented, "He's not just surprised, he's questioning everything." And it all leads back to the moment the match was lit, when Joe Rogan said just one sentence and the internet exploded. Joe Rogan drops the question heard around the world. Wasn't Meghan seen on a yacht with Prince Andrew back in the day? That one question, delivered calmly by Joe Rogan, triggered a digital earthquake. It wasn't shouted. It wasn't sensationalized. But it came from a man with the most powerful podcast in the world. And the effect was immediate. Rogan's platform reaches more than 200 million people. His episodes get clipped, shared, rewatched, and dissected across YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, and Instagram. And because he speaks without scripts, publicists, or filters, his words carry a rawness that can't be dismissed. And that's what made this moment so explosive. The Meghan Andrew yacht rumor wasn't new. It had been floating in dark corners of the internet for years, but when Joe Rogan said it, it became mainstream, and Meghan's PR team couldn't stop it. Suddenly, forums were flooded with new threads. Videos popped up comparing timelines. Tabloid editors were scrambling. And Harry, already rattled by internal whispers, heard about the question from someone else. That's when the panic really began. Insiders say he was caught completely off guard. He hadn't seen the episode, but within hours, screenshots and clips were being shared inside his circle. "What's this about Meghan and Andrew?" the texts read. By the time Harry sat down to watch the clip himself, it had already racked up millions of views. Rogan didn't make a claim, one royal observer noted. He just asked a question that no one else dared to. And that's what makes him untouchable. Meghan can't sue. She can't silence him. She can't even out-message him, because Joe Rogan's audience doesn't care about palace statements or legal jargon. They care about truth, or at least the pursuit of it. From that moment forward, the story changed. Meghan's past wasn't just a private history anymore. It became a public investigation, with millions digging, discussing, and demanding answers. But Meghan's yacht access wasn't limited to the early 2000s. Years later, she reappears in another elite setting, one that makes the original rumor look even more calculated. Meghan's past, the elite access no one can explain. The deeper you dig into Meghan Markle's past, the more one question keeps coming up. How did she get access to the most powerful, exclusive circles in the world before she was famous? It wasn't just that Meghan worked on Suits or that she made a few appearances at charity events. By 2016, Meghan had been spotted at Soho House private events, elite fashion functions in London and Toronto, and then came the most eye-catching invite, Yacht Week in Croatia. That year, GQ described the event as Sodom and Gomorrah at sea, an elite gathering of billionaires, models, influencers, and socialites posted across a fleet of luxury yachts. No open invitations. You're either invited by someone powerful or you're simply not getting in. And yet, Meghan was on the list. The question now isn't whether Meghan was social climbing, it's how far back that climb goes. Because when you zoom out, a pattern begins to form. Yacht parties, private clubs, discreet introductions, and access to elite men long before Harry entered the picture. "People don't end up at these parties by accident," one former Soho House member said. "You're brought in because someone wants you there." And that's what makes this story dangerous. Meghan's team has never explained how a cable actress with a modest salary was suddenly flying private, staying at exclusive resorts, and rubbing shoulders with the same people later linked to Epstein's and Andrew's circles. Everything starts to feel less like coincidence and more like strategic positioning. And that's exactly what's now haunting Prince Harry. Because if Meghan was being placed into elite settings years before they met, it raises an even harder question. Was their meeting really organic? Or was it orchestrated by people behind the scenes? And there's one name that keeps coming up in those behind-the-scenes conversations, the man who connected Meghan to Harry, and possibly to others before him. Marcus Anderson, the man who knew too much? Marcus Anderson is not a celebrity. He doesn't appear on red carpets or in tabloid headlines. But his name might just be the most important in Meghan Markle's entire story. As the global membership director of Soho House, Anderson has one job: connecting ambitious people with powerful people. He's the one who decides who gets in, who gets introduced, and who climbs the social ladder. And he's also the man who personally introduced Meghan to Prince Harry in 2016. But what Joe Rogan and others are now pointing out is this: Anderson and Meghan go way back, long before Harry, possibly as far back as 2001, when both were active in the same inner circles, Toronto, London, and yes, the same international party scenes that Prince Andrew frequented. "He's the guy behind the curtain," a royal staffer reportedly said. "He made things happen, quietly." Anderson's name appears in Meghan's orbit repeatedly. He arranged her trips to Soho Farmhouse, traveled with her on wellness retreats, and was often seen alongside her at private events. He wasn't just a friend. He was the access point. Rogan's theory, echoed by researchers like Kirby Summers, is that Marcus didn't just introduce Meghan to Harry. He may have introduced her to other high-level figures long before that, possibly even Prince Andrew. If true, that means Meghan's royal love story wasn't just fate. It was carefully brokered through a chain of elite handlers, with Anderson at the center. Insiders say that Harry has begun questioning Marcus's role, reviewing past conversations, and even pulling back from a few mutual connections. One source put it bluntly: Harry doesn't know who to trust anymore. Because if Anderson placed Meghan into those circles and kept his ties to people like Andrew or Ron Burkle, then Harry may have walked into a narrative already in motion. And that paranoia is spreading fast, not just in Harry's head, but across the palace itself. Because behind the gates, senior royals are quietly admitting, this could be the scandal that breaks everything, Harry's inner circle reacts. This is a nightmare. The panic inside Prince Harry's camp isn't just emotional, it's strategic. According to multiple insiders, the people closest to Harry are now racing to contain a scandal that may already be too big to control. From legal teams in California to former royal aides in London, a network of confidants has reportedly been activated to verify the photos, assess media exposure, and prepare for possible fallout. Privately, many of them are asking what royal advisors asked years ago. Why didn't Harry look deeper into Meghan's past before marrying her? One former palace staffer told a UK paper, "We warned him. William warned him. Charles warned him. But he was in too deep." Now, those warnings seem less like judgment and more like prophecy. Because if Meghan is confirmed in a photo alongside Prince Andrew, during the same era connected to Epstein, Maxwell, and global trafficking investigations, then this is no longer personal embarrassment. It becomes a full-scale crisis. There's growing speculation that Meghan's image may have been a carefully constructed brand, built to appeal to modern sensibilities, but rooted in long-standing elite access that she and her team never disclosed. "This isn't just a scandal," one royal commentator said. "It's a betrayal of public trust, and Harry's stuck in the middle." Insiders now say Harry is rethinking his public stance, reconsidering past interviews, and even looking back on moments that felt strange at the time, but now seem calculated. The phrase being used behind closed doors? Strategic networking ladder. The idea that Meghan's story wasn't just about love, but about climbing, positioning, and eventually marrying into the most powerful family on Earth. And Harry? According to one anonymous friend, he's not just panicked, he's paranoid. And he's starting to ask the one question he never thought he would. Did I get played? Meanwhile, the palace isn't just watching, they are moving. Because if this story keeps spreading, the crown itself could be dragged into Meghan's past. The palace's silent panic. Damage control in motion. Inside the gates of Buckingham Palace, panic has set in, but it's silent, calculated, and coordinated. The royal family has not issued a single public statement regarding the yacht photo rumors. But behind the scenes, palace lawyers and crisis teams are already mobilizing. The reason for the urgency is clear. If there is even a hint of confirmation that Meghan Markle appeared in private social settings alongside Prince Andrew during the same era now tied to Jeffrey Epstein's criminal network, the monarchy faces a storm it might not survive. What's especially alarming is that the crown already endured Andrew's downfall, stripped titles, a multi-million-pound lawsuit settlement, global disgrace. His connection to Epstein is already one of the darkest stains in royal history. But if Meghan is dragged into that narrative, even indirectly, it changes the entire public perception of the modern royal family. "The monarchy can't afford another Epstein-adjacent scandal," said one royal historian, and certainly not one connected to Harry and Meghan, who were supposed to be the break from that past. According to insiders, King Charles has requested briefings. A legal risk team has been assembled. There's concern that journalists in the US and UK may already be sitting on photo evidence, waiting for the right moment to publish. The most critical fear inside the palace? That this blows up during a public royal event, derailing any chance of a controlled response. That's why teams are currently re-examining Meghan's background checks, the same ones conducted before her 2018 wedding. Officials want to know if something was missed or ignored. One source put it plainly. This is no longer just Harry's problem. It's the firm's. And while the palace tries to hold the line, Harry himself is unraveling, caught between protecting Meghan and facing a truth he may not be ready to admit. The psychological toll. Harry trapped between loyalty and truth. Those closest to Prince Harry say this is the most shaken he's been since stepping down day in 2020. But unlike the royal exit, which he believed in, fought for, and defended, this crisis has left him torn in ways no one predicted. At the heart of it is a painful split. His loyalty to Meghan versus his growing suspicion that her past may not be what he thought it was. Sources say Harry Frey has stopped sleeping properly. He's become withdrawn, reportedly spending long hours alone at the couple's Montecito estate, rewatching old interviews and reviewing timelines that used to make sense. But now, raise flags. "He's second-guessing everything," said a longtime friend. Not just her past, but their entire story. From how they met, to who introduced them, to what he missed. Harry's mental health struggles have been well documented, including in his own words. He's spoken publicly about trauma, loss, and the lingering emotional wounds from Princess Diana's death. Those wounds now feel reopened. The betrayal, the secrecy, the media storm, it's all flooding back. Insiders say he's especially haunted by one possibility: that his family had been right all along, that when William and Charles raised concerns about Meghan's social ties and the speed of their relationship, it wasn't snobbery, it was instinct, and he refused to hear it. One aide reportedly told the press, "Harry's pride kept him from asking questions. Now he's stuck with the answers." The idea that Meghan could be connected, even distantly, to Andrew's past has made it hard for Harry to focus. He's missed meetings, he's paused projects, and according to one source, he's even considering hiring his own private investigator to uncover the full truth behind the alleged yacht images. It's not about divorce, insiders say. Not yet. It's about clarity, about control, and about figuring out whether the woman he married was just ambitious or something more orchestrated. But while Harry spirals and the palace tightens its grip, there's one voice the world is waiting to hear from, and that voice has gone completely silent. The story behind the silence. Why Meghan won't speak. The photos are being discussed across platforms. Joe Rogan's clip has gone viral. Royal experts are weighing in. Even former aides are speaking anonymously. But Meghan Markle has said nothing. No comment, no statement, no interview. This complete silence is not accidental. According to multiple PR experts, it's part of a damage limitation strategy. The idea? Say nothing, and the story might burn itself out. A denial could draw more attention. A lawsuit could backfire. So the team stays quiet. But the public sees it differently. When a high-profile figure, one with Meghan's media savvy, chooses not to respond to a direct allegation, people don't assume innocence. They assume fear. Or worse, guilt. If the photos weren't real, she'd say so. One social media comment with over 10,000 likes read, "Silence is an answer." And Meghan's silence is costing her. Once a symbol of feminist clarity and public courage, her current refusal to address the question has left even former supporters confused. The woman who took on Piers Morgan, challenged the Daily Mail, and sued for privacy, is now watching a major scandal unfold and refusing to speak. Why? Because Joe Rogan didn't accuse her. He asked a question, and you can't sue a question. This is where Meghan's usual media playbook fails. You can't silence a platform like Rogan's. You can't shape his narrative, and you can't distract from it with a photo op or podcast special. The machine is out of her hands, and the longer she stays silent, the more powerful the question becomes. What was she doing on that yacht? Did she know Andrew before Harry? Who got her into those circles? She built an empire on transparency, one royal biographer noted. Now she's disappearing when it matters most. And as the silence grows louder, the real question becomes, what happens when those photos, if they exist, are finally leaked? What happens next? The photo war has just begun. This story isn't fading, it's accelerating. The only thing standing between speculation and scandal is a set of unpublished photos. And insiders say it's no longer if they'll leak, but when. Allegedly taken in Phuket, Thailand, the images reportedly show Meghan Markle aboard a luxury yacht with Prince Andrew during the early 2000s, the peak of Andrew's association with Jeffrey Epstein. These photos have been buried by legal threats and media hesitation for years. But thanks to Joe Rogan's viral question, pressure is mounting. Independent researchers are digging. Millions are asking. And now foreign outlets, beyond UK legal control, are reportedly preparing to publish. The second one of those images hits the internet. "It's a wildfire," said one tabloid insider. For Meghan, the implications go beyond embarrassment. If true, it threatens the very foundation of her carefully built public identity. For Prince Harry, it confirms what he's been fearing in silence, that there were truths he never saw coming. This is the final fuse. One verified image could turn rumor into reality. And if it surfaces, Harry's panic becomes prophecy, a global scandal the palace may never recover from. This isn't just a headline, it's a breaking point. If the rumored photos leak, they don't just expose Meghan's past, they rewrite Harry's entire story. The panic is real. The silence is louder. And as the world watches, one question remains. Did Harry ever truly know who he married?